I mean, all of these games I've 100%ed, essentially.
Yeah.
In terms of like Pokemon Silver, the original Silver, it's the one game where I've actually broken the in-game timer. Like, I played so much of Silver, right?
Yeah, you told me about that.
Yeah.
Like,
How'd you do that?
Okay.
What is the in-game timer?
the in-game time, the max in-game timer is 999 hours. And
That's reasonable.
Which is reasonable. It's like 1,000 hours, right? But the only way I achieve that is because of, like, you know, obviously you play through the game. And then you're like, okay, well, I've gotten all 16 badges. What do I do now?
Yeah.
Complete the dex. Okay, I'll do that. What's the step after that? Get every Pokemon to level 100. Okay, I've done that.
Right.
Get all the shinies. And I
What's
did
wrong
that.
with you? What the fuck?
I did that.
You did that to yourself?
I did that to myself because at the time, right, I was borrowing my friend's Game Boy Color.
Right.
Like, we kind of like, this was during the time where like I had like a couple of childhood friends like lived nearby where we met each other often enough where it's like, can I borrow your N64 or can I borrow your Super Nintendo or whatever?
Yeah.
So I never actually owned the Game Boy Color, but I had Pokemon Silver. I don't remember where I got it from. Maybe I borrowed it from a friend, never gave it back. I don't know.
Probably like that.
Yeah, probably something like that. But like, I borrowed the Game Boy Color enough times where I was like, and it was the only
This
Game
is
Boy
mine
Color.
now.
Yeah. And also, Silver was the only Game Boy Color game I had,
Right.
as well. So it's like, whenever I saw the Game Boy Color just sitting on my desk, I'm like, well, I mean, I could just fucking play this, for a bit, kill some time. And as a kid, you know, you have no concept of time as you're playing a game, right? So it's like, I just fucking was like, well, literally got nothing else to do other than I guess I'll just try and catch all the shinies.
Oh my god.
And I fucking did that. And
that sounds like torture.
And I maxed out the in-game clock. I was like, oh, 999 is the max. All right, I got it now.
Jesus
Yeah.
Christ, Joey.
I'm telling you, like, you think you're like, you know, Garnt thinks he's like, you know, once you're into a game, you get addicted to it. No,
Yeah.
I get fucking addicted.
No,
No.
I
I know you do. You're on another level
I am
to
like
me.
another level. And like Kirby's Nightmare in Dreamland was the first ever game I owned because the
Right.
Game Boy Advance was the first console I owned.
I think I've played that game.
I've never played a single Kirby game.
Okay, this game was the game that got me into Kirby. And like
Right.
since then, I fucking love every Kirby game. And like, I'm telling you, like, if you're ever feeling sad, just play a Kirby game. It might be the most like
Your
childish.
therapist
Yeah,
is
yeah.
like, yeah, so I'm going to prescribe you a copy of Kirby's Dream Land.
Literally, if like you might think it's like childish and dumb and like fucking easy or whatever,
Yeah.
but it is literally impossible to play a Kirby game and not be happy. Like it's just it.
Challenge accepted.
There is something about
Depression,
it.
speedrun, and
There's something about it where it's like I might be in the shittiest fucking mood and
Yeah.
I'll play like 30 minutes of any Kirby game,
Yeah.
immediately happy.
Right.
And like I think that's why I liked playing it because I was like, I don't want to play a game that makes me sad. I mean, later on in my adulthood, I was like, yes,
he's like,
yes,
Heavy
I want,
Rain,
yes,
Deluxe
yes,
Edition.
Heavy Rain,
Yes.
Metal Gear Solid. Give me all of that shit.
Yes, I would like a bit of depression, please. And
And I think again, like that's another reason why I like played a lot of like Animal Crossing, for example, or like
Yeah.
you know, again like Pokemon. It's like you
You'd
can't.
put Animal Crossing in like the top 9 in your life?
Yeah,
Damn.
yeah.
damn, okay.
Because
Every like this one in particular.
White girl.
Wild, yeah, honestly, Wild World specifically because I was fucking obsessed with the DS, and this was one of the few
this is
DS.
the
games.
DS
This is
one?
the DS one.
I was gonna say because I heard a lot of like now that people have like calmed down about Animal Crossing, the
Yeah.
newest one. I've heard a lot of people being like, it is good, but it does feel like it's lacking in a lot of ways,
Yeah.
and that they're adding in the functions that were in the previous ones.
Yeah,
as
Yeah, yeah.
DLC,
literally all
like-
the add-ons that they're currently adding
had
now,
in Wildwood.
it's all in
Yeah,
Wildwood.
yeah, yeah.
So
Okay,
like,
this is gonna sound so boomer or not boomer, but like, what is the point of Animal Crossing?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I'm trying to understand why there's like anti-vaxxers when I'm watching this. I'm like, I hear what you're saying, I get it, but I'm seeing it and I'm like, I don't get it at all.
I totally get people, which is why I was really shocked at how popular the newest one got.
Yeah.
Because to me, Animal Crossing, a lot like Harvest Moon,
Yeah.
I always thought was like that one niche series where it's like,
Yeah.
if you weren't into it from the beginning, doesn't matter how many new games they bring out, you'll never get into it.
I mean, like the more people talk about it, the more I'm just like, well, this is just a pay your mortgage simulator.
Yeah, so I watch it and I'm like, okay, so you go hit that rock and then you get some stone, okay, and then you go and talk to a guy who gives you a recipe for something that you
Yeah.
didn't want, and then you go and make that thing, and it's like a cabinet that you might not need, and then and then I'm confused.
And if you don't want it, you can sell it.
And then everything just seems so slow, and of course it's Nintendo, so shit is just unnecessarily complicated and convoluted. Like I saw someone going to like someone else's island, and it took like a minute of like cutscenes to go to someone's island or something.
Yeah.
And then like everything just seemed slow in it. And I was like, why is this fun?
I think that's the entire point of Animal Crossing. It's supposed to be slow because it's not supposed to be like, I feel
I hate games that make me wait. I hate games that make me wait. Like it's artificial waiting.
It's the slice of life of video games.
It is 100%. It is like
that's why
Animal Crossing, Sims, fucking Harvest Moon.
See, I
it's
get
all fucking like slice of life.
I get the Sims though, right? Because you're kind of like you're kind of like living a life that maybe that maybe you couldn't like live in real life.
You know what's really weird? I never got into The Sims.
I never got into The Sims.
I always thought Sims was really boring.
Yeah,
which is weird because I'm an Animal Crossing fan.
Because the thing is, I really like simulation games, but I've never a life simulator game. I've always
you know what it is? You know why I never got into The Sims?
Why?
Because it wasn't cute.
Honestly, I understand that.
Honestly,
you look at Harvest Moon, you look at Animal Crossing, you're like, that's fucking adorable.
I was never into Sims, but like when I started voice acting, I know this is a weird tangent.
Yeah,
like I started seeing Sims voice acting projects everywhere.
Really?
Like people making their own movies in Sims. This was a huge thing.
Oh
like Machinima.
Yeah, and I was just like, what the fuck? This is ugly and it looks dumb.
Yeah,
and it's like the animations of Sims, like.
Yeah,
and then they would you'd have to like voice act to it, and I'm like, I'm not auditioning for that shit. What the fuck?
I don't know.
So bizarre.
I feel like that's part of the like old age of the internet. There's some campiness to it that I feel like has its own charm.
Yeah,
right?
Absolutely.
They would be like, it's like this Oscar-worthy drama performed via Sims animation. And it's like, what the fuck?
But I think that's the whole appeal, right? Because when Animal Crossing first came out, I think I read this somewhere, and correct me if I'm wrong, internet, but I think the whole appeal of Animal Crossing was it was supposed to be marketed towards housewives in Japan,
right,
who wanted something to do as, you know, their husbands or significant others were out working all day.
Yeah,
that's literally how they marketed it, because it was a non-challenging game. No, literally, it was a game where it was like,
are you tired of being in the kitchen all day?
Yeah, literally. It's like because it's so not challenging, and also it's non-stressful either.
Yeah.
It's it's a game that like literally gets all your stress off because you forget about everything in your real world.
Yeah,
where you can just focus on a completely separate. Just there are no stresses or no, I guess, like bad things to happen with like any consequence whatsoever in this world.
Right.
So it's literally Nintendo was like, I'm gonna create a distraction for stressed adults and call it Animal Crossing.
Because I remember my first and only experience with Animal Crossing was the original Animal Crossing on the GameCube.
Right.
And the only reason I knew about it, right, was because I think for the longest time it just wasn't available in the UK. Like it was only available, like they translated it, but it was only available in the US.
Yeah.
And I had heard about it from like this Nintendo gaming PC. No, gaming magazine.
Yeah.
Gaming magazine. That's what I meant to say. This Nintendo gaming magazine. And they were like, it just got like super good reviews. And I'm just like, holy shit, this must be a banger of a game. Every fucking review is giving this. Every review is giving this 5 out of 5. And I'm just like, holy shit, this is a must-get game. Why is this not available in the UK?
Right.
So I literally had to like look up some like import websites and like no, seriously, like I had to import Animal Crossing from the US, buy like a specialized import disc where like because because old GameCube games were region locked, so you couldn't just put a US disc into a UK device. You needed a special disc that you needed to insert into the GameCube to region unlock it so that you could put Animal Crossing into it. Yeah. And so I had to research and do that by myself with a very limited budget because I didn't really have much of a budget to work with back then. But I had saved up and I had brought Animal Crossing, and I was just like, this is going to be amazing, guys. This is going to be an amazing game. I've imported this game, which is fucking expensive to import a game. And I bought like extra hardware on top of that just so I could play the game. Because every review said it was amazing.
Yeah.
And then I started playing it. And I'm just like, when's the gameplay kick in? I was like, okay.
This is an awfully long cutscene.
Yeah. I was like, okay.
You poor thing, Garnt.
Okay, I was picking apples. I'm just like, So the gameplay is going to kick in sometime. Right? I'm going to have a point to why I'm doing this because I expected it to be on the same level as like Pokemon or stuff like that when I'm catching stuff or I'm going on an adventure.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, okay, surely when I pay off this mortgage, that's when the gameplay will kick in. So I play Animal Crossing and I fucking pay Tom Nook back or whatever the fuck his name is. I pay off my mortgage because I'm just like, there must be a reason why every game, every magazine is giving this 5 stars.
Yeah.
Pay off my mortgage and then the game just continues.
And then Tom Nook's like, here's another mortgage for you.